Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the premiere of Glengarry's latest product, TerraSad. My name is Lara Robertson. I am the Vice President of Design and Distributor Sales here at Glengarry. I'm coming to you live today from our new Brickworks design studio here in Philadelphia, opened in September this year. Thank you to everyone who registered for today's event and for joining us virtually today. As we go through today's launch, you can email any questions to events@glengarry.com. We'll be answering some questions at the end and any questions throughout the afternoon that you may have as we go through the session. Normally for a launch event, we'd have you all here in person for a fabulous cocktail party and we'd toast a glass of champagne to the launch of our latest product. Instead, today, you can attend from the comfort of your home or office. No need to wear a tuxedo or a cocktail gown. You can be comfortable in your hoodie or your track pants with a glass of champagne, still optional, of course. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's launch. We'd like to start off today with our launch video to show you what TerraSad is all about.
In a world of either or, this or that, form or function, we find the best choice is never having to choose at all. Because when thoughtful practicality meets unprecedented innovation and undeniable style, you can build anything and sacrifice nothing with a product that installs simply and impresses endlessly. You can have it all, from wall to wall. How? With a facade that endures all conditions, is safe and fire resistant, keeps its trademark colors, and makes lasting impressions. So what's here today will still be stunning tomorrow, and for many tomorrows to come. TerraSad, a ceramic facade system by Glengarry, impressively built to build impressively.
So after seeing that video, you might be wondering, what is TerraSad? So TerraSad is a thin and sleek, lightweight ceramic facade system designed and tested to endure the harshest conditions. Fire-resistant, low maintenance, and color-fast, TerraSad comes in a wide array of colors and finishes to suit any architectural project. TerraSad was designed by our Brickworks team in Australia, and it's been on the market in Australia and New Zealand for over 10 years. It has a long and proven track record of success in a wide array of contemporary architectural projects. Now that Brickworks has extended its borders here to the United States, we're excited to launch this fabulous product to a new market. So why use TerraSad? Versatile in design, easy to install, and with low maintenance upkeep, TerraSad meets all the requirements for any residential, commercial, or industrial project. It has high durability, meaning it performs in any environment, from extreme heat to freezing temperatures, resistant to salt attack. It's energy efficient, a sustainable material made from natural and recycled clays. It naturally assists with airflow and energy reduction with its rear ventilated facade design. It's fire resistant, made from all non-combustible materials. Termite resistant, so no wood, means no termites and no degradation from termite attack. It's low maintenance with a lifelong color-fast guarantee and maintenance-free finish. It will never need painting or recoating. We guarantee that for the lifetime of the product, and has superior strength, so manufactured for maximum strength and impact resistance as well. Not all facade materials are the real deal. TerraSad stands behind all its products, rigorously tried and tested to extremely strict standards. And we're so confident in that we provide these guarantees. So we offer a color for life guarantee warranty for the product, meaning the TerraSad tiles will not fade and will not change color, so you can be confident in their use for the lifetime of your project. We provide a 100-year product warranty that guarantees the quality of the tiles. The TerraSad tiles used in the facade system are free from defects in the materials for a period of 100 years from the date of delivery. We also offer a 20-year system warranty for the enduring wall system that sits behind the tile. The Terrasad facade system hanging rails are free from defects in materials and workmanship for a period of 20 years from the date of delivery as well. So you can be confident in choosing Terrasad for your project, knowing it's going to be a great outcome. Having a look now at the colors and finishes that Terrasad is available in, we've got 17 fabulous different colors and finishes you can choose for your project. Starting out, we've got the smooth range. You see 6 different colors available in the smooth finish. Then we have the sandblasted finish, where you see 3 sandblasted colors, 2 watermark colors, which give a wood grain effect to the tile, and 6 glazed colors that create a beautiful eye-popping color and shine for your project as well. One of the things I love about Terrasad is the tiles are color through, meaning there's no coating applied for the base color ranges, the result of the variety of the fired natural clay colors that give the Terrasad its beautiful natural clay look and feel. So you can see that in the body of those standard colors in the Terrasad range. Terrasad comes in 2 sizes. So these are the 2 standard sizes we offer in our Terrasad range. Up the top there, you see our long format tile, which is 11 and 13/16 by 46 3/4, so roughly 300 mil by 1188 millimeters, or 1 foot by 4 foot. And then we have the smaller standard size tile, which is 11 and 13/16 by 23 1/8 of an inch, or roughly 300 millimeters by 588 millimeters, or 1 foot by 2 foot standard sizes. So we got the 1 foot by 2 foot and the 1 foot by 4 foot being our Terrasad sizes. You can also see on that slide there the extrusion profile of the tile. So it has a fine extrusion core hole that runs through the length of the tile, and a hook at the back that allows the tile to engage with the TN suspension rail system we'll show you as well. So taking a look at those colors now that we offer in Terrasad. So starting off with TN Smooth. TN Smooth is the harmony of nature and design. It's earthly desert colors contrasting its matte finishes. So these are our 6 colors in the TN Smooth range. They are all named after deserts in Australia. So we have Sandy, which is a beautiful natural cream clay tone. We have the Raglan, which is a light gray, beautiful natural ceramic color. We have the Gibson and the Tanami, which are 2 shades of natural terracotta. The Sturt, which is a chocolatey brown, and the Simpson, which is a dark charcoal. So beautiful natural color through ceramic tiles that are available in that lovely matte finish for your projects. Next, we offer the TN Sandblast, which is a texturally rich sandblasted finish, which subtly plays with the light and shade, creating a softer organic finish. So that gives you the natural look of a sand dune from the blasting of sand particles on the surface of the ceramic tile, creating a really soft finish that captures the shadowing effect throughout the day beautifully. Here you'll see the 3 colors that the Sandblast tile is available in. They are all very contemporary, the white, the cream, and the charcoal, available in that beautiful TN Sandblast. Next, you see the TN Glazed. The bold colors and lustrous finish of TN Glazed will liven up any environment. And here are the beautiful colors we offer in the TN. You see the brilliant white, brilliant gray, brilliant black, brilliant green, brilliant red, and brilliant blue. So 6 brilliant glazed colors you can choose for any architectural project. And on the left there, you can see a lovely project in Sydney that's used those tiles in a very contemporary way, using 3 of those beautiful glazed tones to create a pixelated effect on the facade. I actually have one of those glazed tiles here too, I can show you. So here you can see, make sure I'm holding it up the right way. Our Terrasad TN Glazed. It's a beautiful, smooth, glossy, glazed finish. You can see how thin the tiles are to create that lightweight facade system, and the back of the tile with that hook that engages in with your suspension rail system. And that's our standard size, the sort of 1 foot by 2 foot standard size. We also have these available in the long format, which has the double length for a beautiful long linear look as well. Okay, moving on to our TN Watermark. So TN Watermark provides the low maintenance benefits of ceramics with a beautiful timber green finish. Again, two colors named after Australian deserts, Larapinta and Impara. Beautiful natural colors that have two different shades of clay blended throughout the tile to create a lovely wood grain finish. On the left there, you can see the TN Watermark Larapinta at the Goodman offices in Oakdale in Sydney. And what's lovely about that is there's no two tiles the same. They will always have a natural variation in them, meaning there's throughout the wall, it'll create a beautiful natural look with no two tiles having the same color or pattern through them. Lastly, we'll show you the baguettes. I do have a little sample of a baguette here. The baguettes are architectural screening that never looked so good. So these baguettes are available in 3¼ foot long lengths. They're a 2-inch by 2-inch extruded piece. You can see a little version of that. The full length of the baguette is that 3¼ inch length, 3¼ foot length rather, which is roughly 1 meter in length, and a 2-inch by 2-inch square extrusion that creates this beautiful natural terracotta screening that you can use for your projects. The baguettes are available in all of the standard smooth colors. We can also offer them in a glazed finish for special projects. And what I love about the use of baguettes is you can create all kinds of different screening and privacy effects, and allows for really beautiful dappled light into your internal spaces. You can use glass behind it to create different privacy screens, or leave it open and airy for ventilation as well. Taking a look now at the system components of our Terrasad TN system. Starting off there at number 1, we have the TN Surround. This is an aluminium extrusion that's used at the edges, top and sides of the Terrasad cladded area. It sits around the outside to create a neat finish and to hold and connect those Terrasad tiles to the building frame. There at number 2, you can see the TN external corner, again an aluminium extrusion that finishes the edges of those TN tiles at your external corners. There on number 3, you see the TN internal corner, similar sort of thing to the external, except you're using it for those areas where you're returning interior or internal instead. And again, that aluminium extrusion for the edges at your internal corners. Number 4 there, you see our TN suspension rail. It's a galvanized steel rail fixed to the wall frame in a vertical format, which provides anchor points for those Terrasad tiles, the little hook that we saw at the back of those tiles, to engage with that rail and lock it into place. Standard rail material is a galvanized steel. We can also manufacture these for you in ZAM, a zinc aluminium manganese alloy steel, or a stainless steel for projects that have more strict durability requirements. Next there at number 5, you see the TN fitment sponge. So this is used where a Terrasad rail is clipped onto the suspension rails. There's a gap between those secured points. So you put these little sponges in the back, 4 of them per tile, to prevent any rattling and to make sure you've got a nice, tight, secure fit as well. Next up, you see number 6 is our set-out tool. This is really a tool for installation that we use to make sure that the spacing between rails is correct when installed on site. So it's really a handy little tool that gets used by our installers to ensure a great outcome and straight lining up and matching of spacing for those rails. Next up at number 7, you see our TN joint angle and channel. These are channels that are used between the tiles to create an express joint. So it creates a feature on those joins between the tile and helps lock those tiles into place. We also see architects exclude this detail from their projects on occasion, where you can butt the tiles together without the jointing strip to create a more long linear look. So it really is up to the architect whether they want to express that joint, create a shadow line, or create a long linear continuous tile look as well. Then lastly at number 8 there, you see the drainage and water barrier membrane. It's usually the first component of the system fixed to the wall frame. The membrane resists the ingress of water and meets the requirements for air barrier materials, while its vapor permeability and enhanced contours facilitate the drying and drainage of that cavity behind the tile as well. So those are the components of our Terrasad system. You're probably wondering now how all of those pieces come together. I would now like to introduce Leroy Danforth to provide a demonstration of the system to us at our Technical Services facility. Leroy is our Research and Development Manager for our wall systems products, and he is behind all the great work and performance testing that has gone into launching this product in the United States. Over to you, Leroy.
Thank you, Laura. Hi, everyone. I'm Leroy Danforth, Wall Systems Manager here at our Mid-Atlantic Training and Research Facility. So I'm going to share a little with you today about our TerraSod wall system. You can see it behind me on the display. What we have featured in this particular display is our Larapinta watermark color and finish. So if I step back and tell you a little bit about this wall, our TerraSod wall assembly is a very versatile wall system. It is a fired clay terracotta rain screen system. So some of the features, some of the characteristics and technical aspects of the system, obviously being fired clay, it's going to be a naturally durable and fire resistant finish. The other materials in the assembly are also non-combustible as far as components. You basically have a fired clay tile and then galvanized steel for our vertical support rails, and our trims are made of aluminum. So if I tell you a little bit about a typical assembly, the TerraSod wall system can be done over basically any kind of substrate. If you have a concrete or masonry substrate, it's compatible with those. It's also compatible with studs. In this example behind us, this is actually a stud wall assembly. It also has continuous insulation. You can't see the studs here. They're covered by continuous insulation. In this case, 2 inches of extruded polystyrene installation, so certainly is compatible with that. With most systems like this, a stud wall assembly, this is a system that has a 2-foot module. These tiles are 1 foot high and 2 feet wide. So there's a 2-foot module between the rails. That's how often they are on the wall. So if you have a 16-inch stud spacing, in that case, a typical assembly would have some sort of horizontal subframe. In this case, it's using Z-girts. It could be hat channels, or it could be some other type of proprietary system for the subframe. So you can see that our vertical support rails for the tiles, they are attached to that subframe with screws. If you look at the rail, you can see that it is attached with screws in pre-punched holes for ease of installation. So these holes are approximately every 6 inches. That accommodates a variety of fastener spacings. The fastener spacing of the rail is determined by wind load, and our TerraSod technical manual will have charts that tell you based on your wind load what your required fastener spacing needs to be. So you can see the little hanger. This is what actually holds the tile. Before I show you how the tiles actually engage, I also want to share with you that this is a system that the tiles are available in a variety of colors and finishes. This is a standard smooth finish. This is one of the more popular and as well as more common. This is a sandblast finish, which offers more of a texture. And then we also have a glaze finish, which is something if you like a high gloss. And all of these finishes are available in a variety of colors, as well as our watermark, which you see featured on the wall here, which is available in additional colors as well. So if we take a moment to look at how the tiles actually engage on the wall, it's very easy. So with this tile, I'll show you, if you look at the profile of the tile, it has sort of a tongue and groove shape at the top and bottom. And so the hangers on the rails provide vertical support for the tiles. But when you place one tile over the one below it, that shape ensures by an overlap that the tile below can't lift up and disengage. So that adds to the security of the system as you go along the wall. You'll also notice these little sponges. These little sponges go behind the tiles. They're there to secure the fit and prevent any rattle. One other component that I'll mention to you is the trims that are available and part of the system. At the top, the bottom of the wall, and above the window here, this is our standard surround trim. So it is able to be used for a variety. It's sort of a universal trim. At the corners, we don't have it here with us today, but there is a couple of corner trim variations that we have as well to finish your corners. And then this element that I'm holding here that you can see placed in the wall is what's called our jointing channel. We have another version of this called a jointing angle. And so this just goes in the area between the tiles. To give you a consistent and uniform joint finish. Obviously, that's not attached, and in a real installation that will be attached to the assembly. So that's a little bit about our TerraSod wall assembly. This is a system that has been tested for water penetration resistance. It's been tested for structural performance as well as deflection. As I mentioned, the components are non-combustible themselves, the parts of the system that we supply. So that's a little bit about our TerraSod wall assembly. So Laura, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Leroy, for that fantastic demonstration. To recap what Leroy just showed us, I'll go through some of the typical installation drawings. So here you can see the TerraSod TM system components here in elevation, showing those tiles installed on those suspension rails that Leroy showed us. So the suspension rails are installed at roughly 2-foot centers or 23 and 5/16. You can see there, and then the tiles, as we showed, hook over those suspension rails and lock into place securely. Looking at the profile of the tile, as we saw, it's a very thin tile, 14 millimeters or 9/16 of an inch, creating a nice lightweight facade system at 5.12 pounds per square foot. Having a look at the system in isometric view now, you can see the shorter format module, which is the 23 and 5/16 of an inch tile. You can see here how those tiles sit on the suspension rails and the corner trims are added in, showing the spacing of those rails between the tiles. And here for the 1200 as well. So essentially, whether you're using the TN600 or the TN1200, so the short format or the long format tile, the spacing of the rails behind is the same. So if you wanted to mix and match between the shorter length and the longer length tiles, you could alternate between them and create a combination of effects on your project as well. Taking a look at some of the technical information now, you can download this from our brochure on the Glengarry website. Just to recap the sort of things you can find in there that could come in handy as you're calculating what you need for your project. You've got the lengths, module heights, and thicknesses of both of those tiles we saw, the number of tiles per square foot, the number of pounds per tile, the number of pounds per square foot. You can get your break strength for both longitudinal and transverse, the coefficient of expansion and the coefficient of thermal expansion there in the brochure, along with your durability class and everything related to your fire test. So your flammability index, ignitability, spread of flame, heat evolved index, smoke developed index, and combustibility as well. Really demonstrating that these tiles are fantastic for projects where you want to have your fire resistance and non-combustibility of your facade materials. A great aspect of the TerraSod facade system. Whole lot of testing also went in to make sure that this product was fit for use here in the United States. It's been on the market a long time in Australia and New Zealand, so we were confident that it would also be successful here. But just to show all that work has also gone in behind the scenes to make sure that it's in compliance with the ASTM standards. So tests done were on transverse load and wind on wood studs to ASTM E330, also on steel studs to ASTM E330, gravity load testing to ASTM E72, efflorescence to ASTM C67, along with freeze, thaw, and modulus of rupture, combustibility to AS1530 Part 1, and water penetration to AS4284. So you can see that there's a lot of compliance there to ensure that you can be safe in selecting Terrasad for use on your project, knowing that it's in compliance with standards and will achieve a great outcome. And on the right there, you can see a beautiful project using the Terrasad TN Smooth in Gibson at the Colling Research Building, designed by Hassel Architects in Sydney, showing the height that you can install those beautiful Terrasad tiles to, creating a long monolithic single material on the facade, which creates a beautiful look. Packaging. So those tiles arrive safely to site for you, secured in boxes of 4. The tiles come safely packaged in these boxes to make sure they arrive on site for you looking as good as they do coming straight out of the factory. For all of your technical information, installation and design advice, the manual will be available for any of the following and more. So your system diagrams and descriptions, handling and storage, component specifications, wind design tables, recommended fasteners, and standard system details as well. Nice handy tool for your installers and your designers. Now we'll take a look at a couple of case studies from projects in Terrasad that have been completed throughout Australia and New Zealand. Here's one that I love in Alexandria in Sydney. It's the Apex Apartments. Apex Constructions designed and constructed the project. It's a 4-story refurbished facade. So what was originally on this site was a old, dilapidated brick building that they needed to refurbish. And in this case, they were able to use the Terrasad TN glazed, installed as a thin, lightweight cladding on that facade to really revitalize that building and bring it to life. And they've used the black, white, and gray here to create a new and attractive, modern and contemporary facade that really will attract new tenants to the area and revitalize what was a rundown corner of Alexandria into something much more modern and contemporary, and looks beautiful on that corner. Next up, we have Alpha Apartments in Mount Victoria in Wellington, New Zealand. This is Gibbons & Co. project. It's 26 apartments over 8 levels. Here they've used the Terrasad TN Smooth in Simpson for all 8 stories of that building, and really shows the luxurious, smooth, and modern finish you can achieve for your apartment buildings in those sort of mid-rise applications, really well suited to the TN tile, creating a beautiful, smooth look that will require no maintenance for this apartment building, which is great. Here we have a baguette project. It's the Fuzhou Street Culture and Art Center in Maui Newtown in Fuzhou, China, designed by PES Architects. It's a 1.5 million square foot cultural center, including theaters and event spaces throughout that cultural center. It's a beautiful new building there, designed to look like a lotus flower. It's absolutely gorgeous. And they've used the Terrasad baguettes in white throughout the facade of this building, installed on an angle to create this beautiful dappled light screening effect. When you're walking through those interior areas of the culture center, you get that dappled light as the sun shines through that screen and creates beautiful shadows and reflections in those internal spaces. So it shows, you can install those baguettes horizontally or vertically or on different angles to suit any curves and angles in your project as well. Another beautifully angled project is the Rolling Cube House in Port Elliot, South Australia. It was designed and constructed by ABC Advanced Building Constructions, and this is a 2-level, 3-bedroom private residence. They selected the Terrasad TN Smooth in Raglan, Sandy, Sturt, and Gibson, so 4 of those beautiful smooth colors for this private residence. And what I love about the tiles used on this project, they're installed in different angles to create these interesting sloping walls that look like you've just rolled a bunch of dice for their home. So really nice creative use that really gets you thinking about different ways you could use Terrasad for your project too. Okay, we're coming up to the end here. I'd now like to take a look at some of those questions that have come through via email. So I'll go ahead and bring some of those up now, see what we've got. Okay. Okay, so I've got one question, or two questions here from Will P. So the first question there is, where are the tiles made? So the tiles are made at a state-of-the-art ceramics factory called Lopo in China. So Brickworks scoured the globe for the high-quality ceramic manufacturing facility that would be able to create these tiles for us. So what's important about the Terrasad tiles is they need to be very flat and straight. The way that they're installed, if there are any warps or defects in the tiles, you'll see that in the way that the light hits the building, creates shadows in your facade that you don't want to see. So we found a fantastic state-of-the-art ceramics factory that produces the tiles for us and meets those quality requirements for that really flat profile for the tiles. The suspension rail that goes behind the tiles is made for us at Heinz Industries in Ohio, so we get those locally out of the United States. Okay, another question from Will. Can you cut these? Meaning, I think, can you cut the tile? Absolutely, you can. The tile, they're like any kind of ceramic. They can be cut with a tile saw. So if you ever need to cut them on site, you need to trim them down, or even if you wanted to do different lengths and widths in those tiles as well, you can cut them down. We recommend using a tile saw that you would for any floor tile or wall tile to make sure you've got a nice crisp edge. It's a very tight-bodied ceramic material, so you want that nice crisp edge on your cuts, so recommend using a tile saw for those. How do you detail the corners? All right, Sheila's got two questions here. How do you detail the corners? So we saw in the system components there's two extruded aluminium pieces. So depending on whether you have an external corner or an internal corner, there's an extruded aluminium piece that slots in with the tiles in those places and protects the edges of the corners there. So the standard finish is a aluminium extrusion. You can also powder coat those to different colors to suit your project as well. You can sort of see those cornered pieces on that question slides there. You can see those extruded aluminium reflective corners. Another question from Sheila, do the tiles need to be sealed? No. So they're a low maintenance tile. They don't require any coatings or sealants at all. The only thing I would think about if you were using them in a really high traffic area that's likely to get a lot of graffiti, I would apply an anti-graffiti coating, similar to what you might for a brick in those areas, just to make sure it's nice and easy to clean off if there are any stains that come along with paint and graffiti. But other than that, for most applications, they don't require any sealant at all. Okay, Roland's asking what is the lead time. So we allow 8-week lead time for manufacture and shipping to make sure that we've got the time to manufacture the tile for you and ship them here to the United States. If we have them in stock, they can be picked up from our Mid-Atlantic value-added plan as well. Okay, another question here from Megan. Are there minimum quantities for custom orders? Yes, so if you're looking to do a custom color or maybe a custom finish, we are able to offer those. So for a custom order, you're looking at a minimum of 15,000 square feet. If you wanted to do, say, a custom glaze color, say maybe you're working on a high school or a university and you want to bring the school colors into the project and you want a specific color that you want to match, minimum order quantity of 15,000 square feet to get any custom colors for your projects. Oh, and similarly for the baguettes, 15,000 lineal feet of baguettes for any custom colors in the baguettes. Okay, question here from Rachel, where can I get pricing? Best way to get pricing for your project is to contact your local Glengarry representative. They can help you out with anything to do with pricing, samples, literature, any advice that you need on your project. That's the best place to start. If you don't have a local Glengarry rep, just contact events@glengarry.com and we'll put you in touch with the best person to help you out with your project. Last question here from Nathan. How do we get samples and start promoting? Are samples available in the USA? Yes, they are. We have samples of every color available at our Mid-Atlantic value-added plant for samples. So please get in touch with us and we will help you out with getting samples for your architects for their projects. All right. Are there any more questions here? That looks like the last of our questions for today. So thank you all for your fantastic questions. And thank you so much for tuning in to our Terrasad launch here at our Brickworks Design Studio in Philadelphia. Keep an eye out for our new design studio locations opening soon on 5th Avenue in New York City and on Broadway in Baltimore, coming in summer next year. We'd love to see you. Please stop by. You can have a look at our Terrasad displays on the wall here in the studio as well. Also coming soon, we have our beautiful folio publication, so make sure that you are subscribed to our mailing list to request your copy of our beautiful folio architectural magazine coming this winter. Folio is an architectural magazine showcasing all beautiful brick projects. It's a really great place for inspiration for architects looking to do new and exciting things with brick. So make sure that you're subscribed and registered to get your free copy of Folio coming this winter as well. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you so much for tuning in for our virtual launch. Please take care, stay safe, and have a happy and safe holiday period. Thank you so much.